And we're live. Hi guys, welcome to Crossed Paths. It's me, Lucian, and today is part 3, I think, of the Conjure series Hoodoo 101. So last week we covered the history. Oh, is it part 2? Hold on.
Don't you wait for people to come in?
I know. Well, I'm still gonna talk.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I'm just kidding. Is this part 2? Jeez,
No,
I think we're only doing part 2. Yeah, because the last time I spoke, I only did the history. Okay, so anyways, whatever part this is, I completely forgot. We talked about the history of Hoodoo, Hoodoo origins, and about ancestor reverence, Hoodoo beliefs, and its practice. Now today, we're going to be covering a couple more things, starting with the important laws of Hoodoo, as well as some kind of other things, like we're going to be covering the topic of different types of ingredients used in Hoodoo, as well as different candle colors that correspond, and a lot of other things here and there today. So, without further ado, hi Opal! Let's get started in 1 minute. Where is it? Here it is. And we're back. Hi, guys. So I'm just going to give it a few more minutes to let people kind of filter in, because I don't know if YouTube sends a alert anymore, especially through StreamYard. For some weird reason, it does for Dave. Oh, it did now?
Yeah.
Just now?
A few minutes ago.
Huh. Anyways, so I'm going to let some people filter in before I continue. Hi, Isis Mommy. Hi, Lori. So, okay, so it did do a notification 30 minutes before. Okay, good. Phew! That's good, because the few times that I have tried to do it, for some weird reason, it doesn't. But then whenever Dave does it, it does. So I don't know if, like, StreamYard just doesn't like me, or it's my computer that just doesn't like me. But, oh, yay, people are coming in. Hi, Purple Sky. Hi, Spitfire Cat. Oh, hello, Diane. How are you? Yippee, finally caught one. I did receive a notification. That is good. Okay, so I'm just going to say this again, guys, because the last time I said it, no one was really here. So last week, we covered the history of Hoodoo. We talked about ancestral veneration. We talked about Hoodoo origins and its belief. And let me check my notes. What else did we do? And about Hoodoo as a practice itself. Now, today we're going to be talking about the laws of Hoodoo. There's 3 main important laws of Hoodoo that we follow. And then I'm going to talk about some random things before we start getting into the meaty topics of how to do hands-on conjure work. So later on in the series, I'm going to be showing you guys how to physically make poppets, the history behind poppets. We're going to be doing oils, how to make and dress candles. A lot of fun shit's gonna go down. Woo! Let's get started. So, let's talk about the first... Okay, actually, let's talk about the 3 laws of Hoodoo. The first one is the law of similarity, and then we have the law of contagion, as well as the law of deployment and disposal. So, what are those? Well, I'm going to tell you what they are. First, we have the law of similarity, and the law of similarity states that like attracts like. So what happens is when we create a poppet, we create it in the likeliness of a person, so that whatever we do to this poppet will affect the target of whom the poppet resembles. Now, for me, I like to call it... Actually, no, I'm going to... Actually... So, the law of similarity can be known as sympathetic magic as well as imitative magic. I personally like to call it representational magic, because to me, when you create something like a poppet, you're using it to literally resemble someone else. So hence representational magic, because the poppet is literally used to represent your target. And then we have the law of contagion, which means that once 2 people or 2 items come into contact, a magical link is formed and created and will affect each other long after that link is even broken. Only way the link is broken is usually done by a formal act of banishment. And once something is affected, it is always affected. And this is extremely important because later on, think of it this way. When you bring something at a crossroads, for example, if you're trying to hex someone and you have to bring it, and you bring it to... Okay, actually, rewind. The reason why the law of contagion is super, super important is because you want to keep in mind that certain spells will affect anyone that comes into contact with it. So, for example, if you're trying to hex someone, you're not going to bring it to a crossroads because anyone that walks by that area is going to come into contact and they will then be affected by whatever hex you left at the crossroads, which then brings it to the third law of deployment and disposal, because it's very important where you throw away your spell remnants. And a lot of the time, people are like, okay, so I've done this awesome spell, super cool, it was perfect, but now where do I do with it? Where do I dispose of all the stuff that I just did? So, I'm going to give you guys a little list to go by. And hi, Skyberry. Hi, long hair, skinny-eyed toe. Hi, Owl's Perch. Ooh, excuse me. So, the first one is... Oh, actually, so what is law of deployment and disposal? Deployment is where you place a spell so that it continues to work. Whereas a disposal would be where you get rid of any spell work that you want to destroy. So, for example, some spells that you can Oh, actually, this was a little saying that I was learned. Some spells you can deploy, some you have to destroy. So, for example, a sigil and a petition only activate when you rip them up and burn them. Oh, and then I just put a little note that's important, is always cover your head and feet when doing any root work. So some things that you can do to deploy some of the spell remnants. So we have to keep something close to you. You want to bury it in your backyard. If you're trying to attract something to you, you want to bury it in the front of your house. And a lot of the time people are like, okay, so I don't have like a yard to bury it in. Or some people are like, I live in an apartment where it's like the third floor and you kind of have a concrete balcony. So how are you supposed to bury it in the front of your yard when you don't really have one? So another little trick that I learned is that you can place it inside of a pot by the front door. What are you doing? Oh, geez. I thought I was trying to start a fire over there. And then place it in front of your house. Therefore, you have something to kind of bury your remnants in. And that is to attract something towards you. If you're trying to destroy an influence of someone else, you burn it. That's actually interesting because... Huh. No, I'm just... Because remember when I said earlier about sigils and petitions only activate when you rip them in half and burn them? That's kind of interesting because to destroy influence is burning it. So that kind of makes no sense. I'll have to look at that one later. But to move something away and sink it, you want to throw said items in running water. And it doesn't have to be just running water. It can be running water of a sink, a river, a stream. You can even send it down your drain. You can send it down the shower drain if you want. Hell, you could even... I mean, it's probably not the best thing to do, but you could even, like, flush it down your toilet, because, I mean, technically that's running water. To disperse something over vast distance, you want to leave it at the crossroads, but also remember that leaving a hex will spread to anyone who passes it, so obviously you don't want to leave any hex work at the crossroads. And a lot of the time, I have actually been asked, like, okay, where do you go for the crossroads? Because some people are nowhere near crossroads. Like, I did have a friend one time that was like, they were just nowhere near a crossroads. So one thing you actually can do is you can use dirt from crossroads to represent the crossroads itself. You can even draw an X on a piece of paper and leave it for 24 hours, or you can even make a veve of Papa Legba to represent the crossroads, because he is the guardian of the crossroads itself. So it makes sense that you can actually use his veve to use as representational magic for the crossroads. If you want to fix something, meaning you want it to stick, use the 5-point pattern, which I will actually talk about in a minute once we've gone through this little list. To work by spirit, bury it. When it says to work by spirit, it means like literally with ghosts or with the dead. You want to bury the remnants in a graveyard. Make sure you leave offerings of fresh flowers, rum, 3 dimes, I don't know, cigar, whatever it is that spirit likes. Because when you're working with spirits, you want to give them an offering, thanking them for allowing their time to work with you, and you don't just want to walk up there and be like, okay, spirit, like, I need you to do this, this, and this. Because at the end of the day, if you're just like that, demanding things from them without giving them something in return, they will not want to work with you. Hold on. Hi, Hedgie, and hold on, what was this? Right, Luke, what if you lived in an apartment? Oh, okay, potted plants, blah, 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 sigil. Hi, Saturn Rain. Okay, sorry. So if you want to hide something, conceal it in a tree. Now, there are actually different parts of the tree that you can even conceal it in. Like, if you conceal it, you can conceal it usually in, like, a little nook of, like, the branches. Sometimes trees will have, like, you know, those little knots that are like little holes. It's best to hide it up in there. You can even hide it down under in the roots. But the main part is you want to hide it in a tree. When you want to work in secret, that simply means hide it in food or in a drink. Obviously, you're not trying to kill someone, so... Actually, yeah, that makes sense. To work by stealth, hide inside clothing, shoes, lining of a coat, and you can even use shoe track magic where you put the remnant on someone's footprint. Then to strengthen, you throw facing east. To weaken something, you throw facing west. And if you want to make something rise and fall, place it in a tidal pool. And those are the different deployment laws. Okay, so earlier I talked about the 5-point... where was it? Oh, the 5-point pattern. So it's also known as the Quincux pattern. It is called the 5-spot pattern or the sum of 5. So basically what it is it's used to fix or to stick a spell into place. How it's done... Well, actually, first of all, it's usually done inside a house. And you usually want to do it by concealing 5 points that are hidden within a room. So, for example, how it's done is... Hold on. Oh, I thought I had an example. So imagine... Oh, actually. Oh, where's my pen? Here we go. So say this is your room right here. You would put something in each corner of the room, which makes up 4 points, and then something smack in the center. Oops. Let's see. So we have a point here, a point here, a point here... Oh, geez. Here, and then right in the center. This is the 5-spot pattern. So this would represent the room. You have something in one corner, one corner, one corner, one corner, and then the center. So some things that you can place your spell parts are under floorboards, under chairs, tables, couches, bricks, rocks inside of a potted plant or something. Oh, I even wrote it down. 4 corner points and 1 center point. You can even draw this on a piece of paper like I just did. If you're in a spot that I don't know, is very limited in in what's it called? Furniture, or if it's in an area where it's not exactly the easiest to conceal something, you can even use a lot of the time representational magic, hence drawing it on a piece of paper. And then what you would do is you would place the items on top of the points of paper. Next, okay, so different kinds of spells that are used in Hoodoo, because a lot of the time you will hear these words and it's very, very important. And these describe different types of spells that we do. So first we have hot, fast, cold, slow, sweet, and sour. So what I mean by describing a spell as hot and fast, it's a type of spell that is designed to heat something up, to burn something, or to speed it up. When a spell is described as cold or slow, it's used to freeze, to stop, or to slow down something. When someone says the term sweet, it means to bring something towards you or to put it within your favor. When someone says sour, it means to put off or to turn against. So, for example, items that you would use if you're trying to sour a situation would be lemon or vinegar, because obviously it's literal. Like it's something that you think of and you're just like, oh, you cringe, it's sour. Some sweet herbs, or not herbs, ingredients would be molasses, sugar, or honey. Something hot would be cayenne pepper, jalapenos, even hot sauce. And something cold is usually the freezer or the fridge. So, for example, there's a sweeten, a jar. Jeez, why can't I say it? Hold on, I'm trying to think of examples for these. So, actually, I'm gonna have to come back with that because I just need to. My brain's not working today. So, any questions so far? Hi, Debbie. How are you? Oh. Okay, cool. So I'm going to quickly just kind of cover the topic of some ingredients that are used in Hoodoo. So, first thing we have are roots, and roots generally last the longest. Roots can last up to several years. For example, a good example of a root used in Hoodoo is a devil's shoestring. The whole root you usually want to use because it lasts the longest versus something that you take and chop up. The second longest ingredient that usually lasts up to a year are seeds. An example of seeds used in Hoodoo would be grains of paradise. And the purpose of seeds used in Hoodoo is to give explosive power or to give life to a spell. Because when you think about it, seeds, what are they? When you think of seeds, you plant them and they produce something, hence the giving life to a spell or giving explosive power. And then we have leaves, which last a short time, usually about 6 months before they expire. An example of leaves is, we all know, bay leaves. And usually what you want to do is you want to bruise the leaves up in a mortar and pestle because that helps to get the juices flowing and gets the scents smelling more scenty-like. And then we have flowers, which last a shorter amount of time, usually about a month. Example would be chamomile. And then we also use animal parts, for example, claws and bones, which obviously bones decay over time and sometimes never do, so they last the longest. Then we have snake hide or snake leather, which usually lasts a while. And then snake skin lasts about 4 to 5 months. So that is an example of animal parts. And then later on down the road, I'll actually go more in depth on like zoological, because zoological, as I said earlier, is a very main component in a lot of Hoodoo spell work. And then also some ingredients are potions, which are water-based, usually lasting about a month in the fridge. You don't drink potions like you would think. They are for magical purposes. And then we have tinctures, which are alcohol-based, which last forever, which can usually be ingested. What are you doing?
Adjusting my flame.
Okay. Okay. And tinctures are usually made for medicinal purposes. What else here? Hold on, I'm just going through my notes here. Ooh, okay. I'm going to talk a little bit about days of the week, because a lot of the time when we're doing our spell work, we have to think of different aspects of when we're creating something. So, for example, as I'll get into a little bit later on, candle color comes into effect. Days of the week come into effect. The planetary alignments even come into effect when you're creating spell work. So these are some of the days of the week. So Sunday is the first day of the week in Hoodoo. It's not Monday, it's not Tuesday, it's not Wednesday, it's Sunday. The number of Sunday is 1. The planet is the sun. The color for Sunday is usually yellow and gold. And Sunday is a good day for success, peace, harmony, riches, friendship, families, and babies. The second day of the week is Monday. That's the number 2, as you can tell. The planet is the moon. The color is white, and it's used for dreams, prophecies, psychic work, beginnings, reconciliation of lost love. And then next we have Tuesday, which is obviously the third day of the week, going in chronological order. It is number 3. It is the planet Mars. The color is red. And Tuesday is a good day to do any spell work regarding war, force, strength, anger, passion, courage, movement, conquering enemies, and causing strife. Then we have Wednesday, the fourth day of the week, number 4. Planet Mercury, color is orange, and it's good for health, communication, influence, to speed up or slow something down. Next we have Thursday, which is the 5th day of the week. You can guess, number 5. Planet is Jupiter. Its color is deep blue, and it can be used for wealth, legal success, fame, reputation, being in the public eye, as well as judgment. And then next we have Friday, 6th day of the week. Its number is 6. The planet is Venus. Colors are green, pink, and copper. And Friday is a good day for doing love magic, lust, beauty, happiness, sex, travel, and glamour. And when I mean glamour, it's more like illusion magic. Is that a Dave pillow behind you? Oh, it's a Dave and I pillow. My mom had it made for us after we got married. So, sorry, squirrel moment, but that's Dave and I. Oh, wrong way. That's my mom, my dad, and my brother. Yep. Oh, and that's their dog, Nika. Anyways. And then Saturday, the final day of the week, is number 7. The planet is Saturn, and the color used is black. And Saturday is a good day of the week to use for banishing, binding, protection, conjuring spirits, and destruction. Bum, bum, bum. And then finally, this is actually going much quicker than I thought it would. Hold on. So, color correspondences, because a lot of the time, along with days of the week, a lot of the time people are like, okay, what color can I do to associate with different things that you're creating? So white is usually a good color when using blessings, cleansing. It represents spirituality, protection, and it's a substitute for any other color. So it's like the main color. Like if you don't have any other colors, you can always go back to white, because white encompasses all color, right?
What?
White is the... Oh, it's the absence of all color.
Or no, black is the absence of
all color. Okay. It's a combination of all colors. Just kidding. And then we have... Oh, let's do this. And then we have black, which is used to correspond with cursing, banishing, binding, and conjuring, as I said earlier with Saturday. We have gray, which neutralizes and stops a spell. Red is generally used for love, sex, heat, passion, and war. We have orange, which is used to change luck and to open the roads. And then we have green, which is generally associated with money spells, prosperity, growth, as well as gambling. Yellow is generally used for cleansing, wisdom, mental clarity, happiness, and communications. We have purple, which represents psychic abilities, success, power, the ability to influence, control, as well as domination spells. And then we have pink, which is good for friendship spells, love, and femininity. Blue, which is good for peace, keeping the law away, as well as healing. Brown, which is good for stability, court cases, legal matters, and pressure. And then gold, which represents wealth, fame, success. Silver is associated with the moon, femininity, as well as wealth. And then finally magenta, such a random color, represents energy and when you want speedy results. Jeez, is that all I had for everything for right now? Yeah, because everything else that I have written down is more hands-on work. So, guys, that kind of concludes the talkity talk part of part 2 of the Conjure series. Now, does anyone have any questions regarding everything I just said, even though I probably just sped through all of that? How long? Oh, I've been on live 26 minutes. Well, this will be a short episode, I guess. And then we can actually, next episode, get down and dirty on the more physical things, which is great because I really want to get into actually doing hands-on work with you guys. So, I'm going to open up the floor now. Does anyone have any questions? This is the awkward part where you sit here. No one has any questions? Okay. Well, I hope that was a lot and a lot of information that people will probably need to watch again to process. But yeah, oh good. Okay, do you recommend any good books? Love this video. We'll have to catch up. Skyberry was saying, I was trying to say you would bury the petition in ashes. Yes. Thank you for that, Skyberry. And books I would recommend. Actually, there's a lot of books that I recommend. Obviously, one that I am using is Working Conjure, A Guide to Hoodoo Folk Magic by Hoodoo Sen Moise. A good book that I still use as reference for herbs is Hoodoo Herbs and Root Magic by Catherine how do I say that? Yerwande. No, Yeronwode? That. Her right there. And it says, Hoodoo, Herb, and Root Magic, a Materia Magica of African American Conjure. Traditional formulary giving the spiritual uses of natural herbs, roots, minerals, and zoological curios. And then I also use... Oh, geez, I don't have the book. It is, Oh, what's the name of it? Southern Old Style Conjure by Star Cassis. And I'm actually going to type this down in the chat here. It is... Geez, I can't think of... What did I just say? Oh, Old Style Conjure by Star Cassis. There we go. Bam. That's who I also recommend. Catherine, what? Shh. I'm not good at pronouncing that last name, so I'm just gonna, show it. Yes, there we go. Oh yes, Paper in My Shoe is also a good one. She's a really, really good author that I like to read. Yeah, so I am probably just going to be spontaneous and try and figure out what I want to do for the next course. Let's see. I don't know. What do you guys want to do first for the first hands-on segment for next week? Do we want to do charms, like Gregory charms? Do you want me to teach you guys how to make voodoo dolls? Do we want to, what else is there? Create oils? Do we want to do any protection work? Oh, no problem, guys. Thank you. Protection. Okay. So Opal wants protection. Actually, no, because what I could do is do a combination. So what I could do is, if we do poppets or voodoo dolls, what I can do is show you how to create a a poppet related to protection. Or actually, that's what I'm gonna do. Yay! We're gonna make a protection poppet next time, you guys. So it's awesome because with protection poppets, you can use it as representational magic to represent yourself or for other people. So that's what we'll do next time, is we will create a protection poppet, which will be a lot of fun. So guys, I was only live for 30 minutes, but a short video, but a lot of information in just those 30 minutes. Sorry if it was a little bit all over the place. I just wanted to kind of quickly get everything out there so we can start applying everything. Oh yay, a lot of people said protection, so this is good. Anyways, thank you guys for being here tonight, and sorry this was a super quick one. But yeah, so next week we're going to be learning about how to make protection poppets. So have a good night, guys, and I will see you Thursday. Well, actually, technically, I'll see you quickly tomorrow, because Dave's going to be going live tomorrow for his Wednesday night readings. And then I have my Santria 101 class. And then popcorn party. Oh, geez, we haven't done popcorn party in a long time. So yeah, that should be a lot of fun. Anyways, guys, love you all, and have a good night, everyone. Oh, and don't forget, I almost forgot. How could I forget this? If you haven't, make sure to check out our Facebook group, Crossed Paths. Like me on Instagram. Follow me. I'm boneyard_gentleman. Dave Instagram is the_wiz_1. And bye, guys.